Good morning, everyone. Jesse Webb, TradersPro. Let's take a look at a few things this morning. A couple things of note. If we go to our sectors tab and we look at the overall sector scan, one of the things I noticed this morning is this business service is really climbing, and transportation, and we've seen basic materials really drop just in the last couple of days. So one of the things that's interesting about that is that this trade, I think it'll still be working in the longer term, but you're starting to see potentially some of these tech names starting to come back up. So keep an eye on this. Another quick way to look at that is sector ETFs and then glancing through the last week or the last day. So yesterday we saw this basic materials was down by not a lot, but 1.38%, whereas tech was up a little bit. So one of the things that we saw was you're seeing oil prices that are still kind of coming back. So a lot of these stocks they've had big runs also, and they may just need to be consolidating a little bit. But you may see some tech that's starting to build some momentum here. I'll come back to a couple of other charts. The long-term condition of the market, we've actually shifted back to bullish in a bear market. What that means is that the short-term trend is solidly up and trending higher, and that we're still in a long-term downtrend. So that bear market, which is here, I typically try to show this on these daily video updates, just to give that overall perspective, that overall context to what is the bias. We're still in this downtrend, yet we are kind of bottoming right here. So we want to certainly be watching for that, and you're seeing some little ticks of possibility right here as far as this trend. So this momentum is starting to move pretty well. Breadth is back solid. Sentiment is high. The table's set for either a continuation of this or some type of a reversal based on the optimism. As we've mentioned before, this sentiment line, which is still where are we at right here, still pretty high, and traditionally is not this high for that long, unless it's in a real bullish market. We see in a bull market that sentiment number stays high for a long time. So interesting time right here. We'll keep an eye on this. Buy sell ratio, I talked about that yesterday, still solidly up there and towards the upper end of that range, where it starts to kind of top out either bullish or bearish. So we may see, not necessarily some downturn, but at least some consolidation of this uptrend as traders and investors are trying to decide which direction they want to go. One thing I looked at here that was interesting about the Dow yesterday, of the Dow stocks, the four that are in this downtrend, Johnson & Johnson, Coke, United Health, Pfizer, a lot of those stocks had been these big leaders. Now they're the laggers. Yesterday, the Dow was down pretty significantly, and it was because of Goldman Sachs. So if you look at these stocks, these Dow stocks that are in this hold range, Goldman Sachs already had a weak rank, but it had turned the corner. It had gone from a buy back to a pretty sharp downturn here. So this is one of the things that can happen in a bear market still, is you get this whipsaw action where you get a rally higher. It looks like it wants to get some confirmation, and then nope, sure enough, more downside. This whipsaw action, that's not uncommon in a bear market. So in a bull market, you'll typically see these, really starting to continue and break out. In this bear market, you just sometimes will get selling into the rallies. There's just not a lot of confirmation there, at least on this particular stock. So we'll see if that actually is an inkling of anything new. The strong stocks in the Dow currently, if you look at this Dow Industrials, I'm going to indexes, I'm going to industrials, and then this 14 stocks right here, you can see Exxon, Chevron, Caterpillar, Visa, McDonald's. These are kind of the stronger ones of the group. Not necessarily very strong. The ranks are relatively weak, but they all are in uptrend. So you still have a bulk 14. Half of the Dow is in this uptrend for the most part, and so the still, that's not strong internals, but it definitely is. We'll see which direction the majority of these hold stocks right here, these industrial holds, which way they want to go. We obviously know that Goldman has dropped. I think Merck's kind of teetering right there, where it's kind of looking like it's weak. That's a pretty weak day yesterday. We'll see how that continues. Travelers, pretty pretty big downturn on Travelers yesterday as well, IBM. So you're seeing some of these stocks that are weakening. Keep an eye on that buy list, that ratio here as this 14, maybe some start to move back into hold. See if we get any weakening happening right here. The muscle stocks new buy list. You're seeing some medical and oil stocks that are continuing. I didn't see anything that was real great. This one's not too bad in terms of a breakout. We're seeing some of these breakouts fall. They're not getting the continuation again. That's kind of just a bear market characteristic. And let me just refresh this, make sure we've got this current list here, and we go to new buys. CTIC, some volatility here. It's a medical drug stock as well. You can see it has shifted, but it's had some false signals during this counter trend, uptrend, retracement. It hasn't had, but it's just right on the verge of that breakout. That might be one to keep your eye on today. Now that we've got this new bullish profile here on that stock, AMR base material stock. You're going to see some mining and some other type of medical stocks that are in that list today. Biomed. Oil and gas, decent pattern here on this one, PTEN, where you get this uptrend, kind of this retracement, uptrend, and then this counter trend. This is called a lot of different things, a flag type pattern, an ABC pattern with this uptrend, downtrend, but that's not a bad looking setup right there. And again, a lot of times you can just take these ideas, add them to your watch list, click on the watch list, track them, go in, do some more analysis as you see fit. If you don't have full access to the site, you can sign up with the link below, and we look forward to having you. Have a great day today.